Is there? I mean, I'm asking this question with love, and it's not not a criticism. Is there something unedifying about a 42-year-old man throwing himself around as a standing goalkeeper in Sunday football?
I knew this would happen. Father Moore giving it the big licks about what it is okay for a 42-year-old man to do and not to do. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Keeping fit, etc.
I shouldn't overthink it, should I?
No, I think who's looking at you? Who's looking at you? Not the defenders. I know that they've got their own problems.
I'm distorted by the fact that I quite simply these days never leave the house. I'm simply not able to leave the house.
Oh.
I wanted to kind of build on that because I've got a 6-week-old son and I'm not able really to do much at the moment, which is obviously part of it. But you do tend to get in your own head a little bit. All I really do now is watch documentaries or reality
about babies,
TV
about keeping babies alive.
No, about nothing to do with that. The opposite to that.
Right.
And obviously I'm on the internet. And I saw a story yesterday which blew my mind to bits. Right? I know it's boring. I know you're going to give me short shrift, and I'm probably going to get a maximum of 90 seconds out of us both on this. But I've moaned quite a lot in the past, both on this show and on the various WhatsApp groups you and I are a member of, about how bad Thames Water are.
Yes, there's been a did they fire or did someone get a promotion? Or there was something Thames Water related yesterday in the news, and I thought, wait till Luca hears about this. He's either going to be delighted or really angry. Yeah, I did actually.
I'm flattered that you did.
You are indelibly connected to, indelibly sort of marked as a Thames Water man.
Yeah, because about 6 months ago, I was driving back through London, and I just suddenly thought, I'm going to see how many pieces of roadworks, traffic, and water bursts there are on just one drive through London, right? On that one particular route, right? And there were 8.
Okay.
And I just thought,
that's
many. Way too many.
That's way too many.
Then I sent you a video when I was walking down the street near my house where there was literally a fountain of water shooting like 30 feet up into the air because they'd fucked something up. And then I read that they'd lost 1 trillion litres of water last year.
You know how like when racists go on about London being a failed state.
Why say that?
Because of the mayor, because of the Muslim mayor. I just sort of think that it's not a failed state. It's great, but the infrastructure is very much crumbling. The infrastructure is a fucking joke. Everywhere.
Do you have any idea how many litres of water 1 trillion is?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to need the usual Olympic-sized swimming pool, even though I don't really know how big that is.
So it's 400... So the amount of water that water companies in total lost last year, 2022, of which Thames Water was the biggest, right, the most, it was 426,875 Olympic swimming pools. And to put it in even bigger perspective, given that the UK is quite a small country, check this out, right? It was basically enough water to fill Lake Windermere 3.5 times. That's how much they lost. That's how much went, right? And
where's it gone though? It's not got. Where's it gone? I mean, they can just find it again, surely, can't they?
Just
must be affecting foundations.
Put a big funnel under the country.
Just what?
Loop it
Where
back
is it
round.
going? Like it's not in the sky. Well, eventually it will be in the sky, but you know what I mean.
And that's the preamble to say that I read yesterday that somehow, despite every single household in London having to pay a mandated amount of money to Thames Water, right? And then essentially, ultimately being in this situation where capitalism can't fail at that level under the way that we run the country. So they're basically propped up by the government as well. They're about to be. They've somehow managed to get themselves to £14 billion of debt and they're about to go out of business.
Yeah. Good. I mean, you can't. That is too big to fail. That does need to be privatised. Ridiculous.
Public. It is privatised. That's the problem.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. You went the opposite.
Sorry.
That's why you're not in a government cabinet position. It's fair enough. But
it's not for that reason.
The thing that angered me is that at 4:45 yesterday morning, I was on the night feed. I'm a bit tired. Obviously, I've got a baby in my arms. I go into the kitchen to get some formula.
Yeah.
And I turn the radio on. I just listen to the fucking news headlines. So I put 5 Live on. The first thing I hear is, government assures British people will not be without water after Thames Water, blah, blah. What country are we living in here? Look, I've studied history at a pretty decent level, and I've never even heard of anyone going out without water in Britain in recent memory.
I mean, what's going to have to happen? Like these machines to be the infrastructure manned by the army? I don't know, like those big trucks that Boris bought as mayor, spraying water into our mouths. It's going to be like when you used to go to Glastonbury in the early noughties, where you used to push to the front and it was really hot. They'd just hand out little cups of water to you, because you were too hot.
Obviously, there's droughts and stuff, and I get all that, and it can be very, very dry in the UK, despite what people say. I totally understand that. But like, the thing that annoys me more than anything is that, they privatised Thames Water. You can't fail because there's no competition anyway, because the only company you can use for your water in London is Thames Water. So the whole point of privatisation is completely taken out of the equation anyway. They pump a shitload of sewage into the fucking environment. They get themselves to £14 billion of debt. I think you could just pick someone off the street of any experience and any age and say, here you go, run this, and it wouldn't be worse. Because it's impossible to be worse than this.
Because everyone on the ground probably knows where it is, like what to do, but it's just all the money's going in the wrong places, presumably.
I don't want to be like... I know I sound like fucking Piers Morgan, and I annoy myself, but it just gets me so angry that we live in a country where we can't get shit like that right. I mean, it's water, for fuck's sake. So I walked back into the living room at 4:45am, put a TV back on, some fucking channel like Dave or something, which is just running like comedy repeats. Ad break, first advert, Waterade. Help some people get water.
We haven't got water ourselves.
I can't get away from it. I can't get away from it. Is what I'm saying.
No.
It's the one thing. Inarguably, it's the one thing I need.
It's the one thing I need.
At the base of it, the backstop to all of this life, water is needed.
Yeah.
And when you see like a NASA scientist saying, "Oh, we're searching other planets for water," it's not because it might be a good sign of life. It's because we fucking haven't got any here. Get it back here.
Get yourself a little water tank in your garden. Just pop a little.
I've got like a little what's it called? What do they call them? A water butt.
Butt to water butt. We got a water butt behind this cabin, and it doesn't really go anywhere. Like the tap's not open. It just sits there. We don't use the water for anything.
Use it
it's
to
just
water the
overflowing.
Garden. Use it to water the garden.
How do I water the garden? Just carry the butt through and start spraying it around. Doesn't make no sense.
Well, you do. Haven't you got like a little tap on the bottom of it that you can fill the watering can up with?
It's too low, and it's really far behind. It's in a really naughty place behind the air conditioning unit.
Okay, that's not a water butt. That's just a box. That's just a box.
It's just a box
that's got water in it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I feel like what's going to happen. We're about 3 months away from Jacob Rees-Mogg being on the telly saying, "Well, in his day, he used to drink rainwater all the time, and it's actually a benefit of Brexit because it teaches us that rainwater is really good," or some shit like that.